All right, I'm Rudy Mettia, and welcome back to Yoga Warrior and Yoga Warrior Tips. It's my buddy and fellow yoga teacher, Jeffrey. And Jeffrey's a fantastic practitioner. I'm proud to have him. He owns his own studio in Omaha, Nebraska, Omaha Power Yoga. So if you live in the middle of the country, go see him. So today, look at this, all right? So I'm like, hey, Jeff, let's go get some ice cream. No, I don't want any ice cream. Hey, Jeff, let's go get a beer. No, I don't want a beer. It's just Spartan. So today, we're going to show him down dog. Let's do down dog. So he's going to, you want to make it through a flow to down dog? Go through a flow. And we'll just kind of go through the whole thing. And he's just going to make his way to down dog whenever he's ready, because I want him to kind of create it the way he wants to create it. You know, I kid with him about, you know, the ice cream or the beer or the pizza or something, down dog. But what I admire about him is he's put his time in. And the practice is a monument to that time in, so it's quite beautiful. I say practice is like a chick, and if you're a guy out there and you're practicing, that's the greatest compliment you can have, because us dudes, just, you know, we're cracking heads and playing football and being all oafish. And yoga is the opposite of being oafish, isn't it? Yoga is about not cracking heads and that type of thing. It's about cracking open the heart, really. So he's gonna do down dog. Feet are about hips distance apart, as you see. And Jeff, show him bad heels, turn out or turn in. You know, so if you do that, turn in the heel, he can't even do it. He's like, I can't do it. Flop the heels towards each other. If you flop the heels towards each other, the femur bones internally rotate. No, I'm sorry, they externally rotate, and then you get this sacral stuff going on. You can't really see it here, but take my word for it. Now square the feet. And when I say square the feet, he can hold this pose forever, so we'll talk about it. And it feels good. I mean, if this becomes a resting pose, it's not really a resting pose, it's a working pose, but someone at his condition and someone at my condition as well, it's a nice resting pose in some ways. So you hide the heels. If you look straight down and you can see your heels in any form, turned out or turned in, you square those heels up. Side is inside, take a look at it. Now, once you got those feet, we'll worry about the energy in the legs in a moment, but the feet are key. Look, lift your head and look at your hands and see that your hands are about shoulders distance apart. He's got his fingers perfectly forward. If you feel like you got a little wrist concern, you can turn those hands out. You'll see my hands are slightly turned out. His are pretty much straightforward. Now we'll go back and we'll put more effort into the leg. So not only is his heels hidden, but I can imagine his shin bones are pushing back to his calves, and his calves are reaching down through the heels. The kneecap is lifted, the quadricep is lifted, it's Tadasana legs, the quad is lifted, the inner thighs roll back. It's almost, if you can imagine, pushing against my feet, it's almost like he pushes his heels. You don't move the heels, like I said, but you can feel like the inner thighs roll back. Hey, you still okay there? He can be much longer. And then the thighs, everybody, so the head of the thigh bones, here's his thigh bone. Instead of it being like here, sloppy, he drives the head of the thigh bone back. The head of the thigh bone draws back. That pulls the hips back, gives you more space in the low back. So we'll just call it a day on the legs down. Now from the arms, same thing here in the arms in some way. You want to almost imagine the forearms drawing towards each other. So the forearms are drawing towards each other, but the biceps are rolling towards the sky somewhat. It's not a big exaggerated motion. Show them the opposite motion. It's not that, do the other thing. Is that. It's external rotation of shoulders. He's a muscular guy, and if he actually went the other way, all these muscles get congested, all that, now smooth it out. Now it's smooth. So we look for congestion in the upper back. So the triceps wrap towards, I imagine my triceps roll towards my pinky toes. That broadens the scapulas, and then you can take the tips of the shoulder blades and press it towards the heart. Starting to struggle now. Ha ha. Tips of the shoulder blades press towards the heart, but these ribs draw towards the thigh, so you still got this beautiful length instead of a hyperthoracic lumbar junction back bend. Drop to the knees and take a rest, because even he needs a minute. Sit on your feet, Virasana. How's that feel? Pretty good. So that's down dog is key, isn't it? We do so many things from down dog. Matter of fact, from down dog, within this down dog tip, he's gonna do knee to elbow, right elbow, left elbow, forehead. But then he's gonna come back and nail down dog. So you can see how you can leave down dog and do things and come back to down dog all within the same moment. So let's go for it, down dog. And then even here, when he lifts that leg in the moment, you saw me with the dancers, how they love to open that hip up. Jeff's gonna keep the hip closed, right? And if you ever look down the front of your body and you can't see your big toe, then you know you've lifted the leg so high you're in back bend mode, or if you turn the toe out. So first, he's gonna work the transverse abdominals. I told you guys earlier in one of the tips that these plank things are key to strengthen the abdomen. So he's gonna bring the right knee, let's say to the left elbow, right knee all the way over. Now, when he gets there, that's the transverse muscle. That also, once you get really masterful with this and you get that elbow, the knee way up to the outside of the tricep, there's some arm balance opportunities, not in this particular program, but down the road. Right leg back to the sky. See how he stays squared? So everything comes back to Tadasana, although it's in down dog. He's gonna take the right leg to the right tricep. And now it's oblique. So for me, it's oblique intercostal striatus stuff. Leg back up. Let's go to the left elbow again. Now it's transverse abdominal and all that to go to the other side. There you go. Leg back up and set that foot on the floor. Just for kicks, he's gonna do the other side so he feels even balanced here. So right elbow first, all the way up to right elbow, transverse abdomen, leg back up, left elbow, oblique, intercostal striatus. You'll feel it's like a little side accordion in your torso. Leg back up and foot down. Now, what's really cool, later on, we're going to do crow pose, and that's kind of where that work comes from with more balance and a little more skill. So that's down dog, and really, and one last thing, the head isn't dropping, droop the head like nothing's going on. It's not that, and it's not looking up towards the front wall. It's just right there, biceps, and see that plane? Tricep, bicep, ear, no brain, but there's a head there. Ear, tricep, that's the alignment. Drop to the knees. Woo! That's Jeff feeling pretty good about down dog. That's me feeling pretty good about that tip. Namaste.